Well, how you going? You all watered up and fed up with me probably. But never mind, I hope to entertain you a bit. Anyway, we're talking about horses, weren't we? The old man loved horses. Oh, he's a great man, horses. We had 3 draft horses on the farm. Bonnie, Kate and Darky. Bonnie you could ride. Kate, you couldn't ride Kate. Too wild. And Darky, well, if Darky was ever in the team of horses, he had to be in the middle because he was a bit wild. I want to tell you about time Dad was mowing the hay with the horses and the mower, and he struck a beehive. Bees come out of the hole in the ground. Bees everywhere. Stung all the horses, stung Dad. God, made a hell of a mess. And Dad never hated bees after that. He would run a mile from a bee after that. Yeah, the beehives. I want to tell you about a lamb. I had a lamb called Bunty. A pet lamb called a Bunty. And I called it Bunty because he used to push its head. I'd push its head and make it bunt. You can make a lamb bunt if you push its head. Keep pushing its head. And it'll bunt your hand, you see. Well, Bunty got big. And he was still bunting. And one day Mum was walking down from the cow shed with a bucket of milk. And Bunty spotted her. And he took off down the hill, hit Mum in the back of the leg. Down she went, the milk went up in the air, and Bunty thought it was a hell of a joke. I've got it written down here, Maori holes. I want to talk about it. You know what a Maori hole is? It's a hole in the ground. In the early days, they used to have holes in the ground on the farms where Maoris used to, I don't know, put their food, bury their food or something, or do the Maori wars, whatever they did. And we had Maoris. And we used to bury these potatoes and carrots there. Used to store them in Maori holes. We had a Maori boy lived not far from us down the road, and man could he fish. We got him up here, called him up one day to do some fishing. We had a creek, and it was full of eels. But he didn't have a fishing rod. And we said, "Where's your fishing rod?" And he said, "I don't need a fishing rod." And he got into the creek, and he just tickled the eels. He put his hand underneath the bank, and he tickled the eel and grabbed hold of it and throw it out on the bank. Yeah, great guy. And I can remember skinning those eels on Mum's clothesline. Uncle Ted, I had a great old uncle. Uncle Ted. We've all got a great uncle, haven't we? Well, Ted was one of the best. Never got married. But every time he'd come and stay with us, he'd bring fish heads. He loved fish heads. And he'd put the fish heads in the kitchen, in the wash house tubs. And Mum go in the wash house and see these eyes looking at her, these fish heads. She used to go crook. She hated old Ted for his fish heads. And I can remember him sitting there eating these fish heads, and he'd pick a big eye up out of a snapper, you know, and he'd say, "I love these eyes, they're beautiful," and he'd eat this big eye out of a fish, off a fish. Had an old Ford Model A truck. Yeah, good guy though. Geez, he'd come and see me. I remember years later he used to come and see me when I just started work, and he was liked, one of these guys that was liked by the whole family, you know, the old Uncle Ted. He used to come over and stayed with Dad and creosoting posts because he knew all about the bush. He was brought up in the bush, and he knew all about sawmills and posts and battens and stuff like that. He was a fencer. I remember them creosoting the posts there one day, him and Dad, and the bloody thing caught on fire. Yeah, a big vat full of creosote, and it caught on fire. But anyway, I want to tell you about Jimmy. Jimmy was a farmer, lived down the bottom of the mountain, and he was an alcoholic. And his family, his kids and his wife left him when they were young, and he was a bit of a dag, an old gentleman really. Came from a very well family. They went to church. He had some brothers up the road, and yeah, he was a good guy, but funny, Man, he was funny. We dressed him up once. Mum used to have long hair, and she cut it off, and she put it together, and she kept her hair, you see. And one day we tied Jimmy to the tree, tied him to a tree, put Mum's hair on him, imitation hair, and lipstick, covered him in lipstick, and then wrapped him up around roped him to the tree. We West kids thought it was bloody great. Jimmy took it in all good heart. Yeah, he used to burn ragwood. Early in the morning, get up early in the morning, and you see him burning ragwood. Anyway, one morning, we got up early and we were looking down there, and we thought, oh, what's that? We lived near a prison farm, Waikeria prison farm. We weren't far away, and there was a couple of prisoners escaped. It was on the news, and we thought we saw these prisoners going along the ridge, the hill there, getting close to our house, and we were crying. Us kids were crying with them. Here comes the prisoner. The prisoner's going to come and get us, you know. Anyway, turned out to be a couple of bloody sheep, and Jimmy burning ragwood. Yeah, well, chimney sweep. Hey, I won my first prize ever won. I won a prize for the best dressed kid, you know, school, dress up. You had to dress up, and I dressed up as a chimney sweep. And I just didn't get nugget. I went and got up the chimney, got right up the chimney and covered myself in soot from the chimney, and I won first prize. Got a box of chocolates. First thing I think I ever won. I had a black calf once as well. Took him to the calf club meeting, and I won. He was standing. He was the best stander and the best leader, and I won a prize with Darky. Called him Darky. I want to tell you about a pillow fight with my sister. Yeah, I had a pillow fight with my sister. I hit her on the head with my pillow, you see, and she said, that's hard. And so we felt the pillow, and it was something hard inside. So we told Mum, and Mum opened it up, and guess what it was? It was Mum's wedding ring. She'd lost it. Engagement ring, sorry. She'd lost her engagement ring. And she lost it while she was stuffing the pillow one day. God, was she excited. She said, Ronnie, you can have whatever you like. Just name it, whatever you like. I'll give it to you. I said, Mum, I want a ukulele. One of them ukuleles, because I loved ukuleles. So she bought me a ukulele. It lasted a couple of years until some bugger sat on it at a party. God, I was wild. Yeah, and now we got another ukulele. Right, I want to talk to you about needles. We've got needles in legs. Well, I was having my sisters on, always having my sisters on. And they were jumping off the bed. They were jumping from the bed, on the bed onto the floor. And I thought to my sister, I'll fix you. So I got a needle, and I put the needle in the crack, because it was bare boards, put the needle, and she jumped on the needle, and the bloody needle went through her toe. Right through her bloody toe. Oh, Dad had to get the bloody prize out and pull it out. And you know, you get whatever you give out in life, you gets back. And one day we was jumping on the bed, and I put my leg down the side of the bed. There was a wall, and a needle. I said to Mum, oh, I felt something go on my leg. It was a needle. The needle went in my leg, and I had to go to the hospital, and they cut it open looking for the needle, couldn't find it. So then they x-rayed, and they found it had moved down further, and they cut it and took it out. Oh, gee. What have we got here? Swing under the swing. Yeah, we had a swing. Everyone got a swing? If you have a walnut tree on a farm, most farms, a lot of places have walnut trees, always have a swing under the walnut tree. Right, so we had a swing. Right, now I'm going to have another breeze now. We're at 9 minutes 37, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you about how I nearly killed my brother with a ragwood slasher. Okay? So, okay, go and have another cup of tea or do what you got to do wheeze or whatever, and come back and I'll tell you how I nearly killed my brother with a ragwood slasher.